The older I become, the more I'm drawn to light, to radiance of all kinds. Both the light and the shadows, they fascinate me. Perhaps it's some primitive fire syndrome, or, I suppose, simply fear of the dark. I rented this loft and filled it with lamps. I spent most evenings here. It's eccentric and childlike, don't you think? I would like to think of it as a kind of playing. The hours fly. I draw enormous energy from it. And then there's the actual heat, of course. I hope I'm not embarrassing you. Might I show you? It's delightful to move at random, extending a hand, weaving in and through these pools of warmth. Each lamp gives its heat differently, unique. And then in between, and there are many betweens, you can receive, feel several sources at once. Any movement and the balance is changed. And then when you've exhausted these relationships, why, you can change them, don't you see? I'm a little frightened that this will bore you. Sharing this, it's so difficult to share our enthusiasms, don't you think? Does light interest you? Do you respond to it? May I show you something? It won't take a minute. There. Now moving through. Now this. Now see. I can feel the difference. Pleasurably, acutely. Is this salinity on the hoof? Look. Seeing the lights above makes me laugh. Why do you suppose? Well, you probably suspected there's history as well. Of course. Some of these are from the Katzafol farm. Katzafol, that's Iowa. And several of these are from family and friends. And my son. And my husband. Oh, fiddle. These are all personal. Memories, I believe, or patterns of a sort. And these, you see, make patterns in our memories. I endlessly wonder what old age, later years would feel and be like, as have you. A diminishment, a narrowing. There's so many things one can obviously not do. Most people central to one's life are gone or dispersed. One is less often useful. My grandfather, when he was very rich in years, used to call himself de-needed and unpacked. There are necessarily fewer people. Thinking about it, it seemed sensible then to invest feeling into objects, enrich my relationship with them so that I wouldn't be without intimacy. I have one sister, Amelia, and she lives in a sort of leisure world, planned community in Albuquerque. Her husband was a thoracic surgeon and she's very well off. She moved there from Katzafol and tells me that she's ever so busy with activities. She has many, many friends there, she says. Imagine, Amelia has not a single solitary acquaintance who knew her before she was 60. And there she is, some sort of amnesiac with many friends and no memories, baking herself in the sun like a Pop-Tart. quite beyond me. Well, several years ago, she visited me here, and she sat there, right where you are. And we shared this odd mixture of warmth and pattern and memories. I showed her, for instance, how extraordinarily hands take light. Lovely. Well, after a very long silence, very nice silence really, she rose and said, "Lila, you are as mad as a March hare." And then she flew home to a card tournament. It has been my experience that light is the more pleasurable as you diminish it. And then when a single glow remains, there is this agony of pleasure and anticipation while you wait for the moment it will be extinguished. It is ever so lovely, ever, ever so. It bewilders and thrills me, this light, this radiance that has become my friend, to succor and sustain me. The warmth, fascination of the waiting. And then finally, of course,